Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Burchill, the Director of Research and Engagement for Trends Research and Advisory. I'm here today with Professor Michael Stohl, Director of the Orfalea Center for Global and International Studies at the University of California, Santa Barbara. We're here today because both of our institutions are organizing a conference on constructions of terrorism. Michael, thank you first off for the opportunity to be part of this. And I just wonder if you could sort of just give us a few words on how you see this Constructions of Terrorism project being important for today's policy.
Yes, thank you, Richard. And thank you also to Trends for the opportunity to partner with you. So we conceived this project as a project in which we brought together leading scholars of terrorism, people who have been studying terrorism for upwards of 30 years, who have been reflecting on the problem, who have been thinking about not only how to think about terrorism and counterterrorism, but thinking about how they themselves have learned and what they've mistaken in terms of things that have gone in the past. So we've invited people from across the scholarly spectrum. We have academics who are historians, sociologists, communication scholars, political scientists, and lawyers. And we're looking at the different ways that we construct the images of terrorism, how the terrorists construct themselves, how the officials responding to terrorism construct the terrorist threat, and how the media represents those constructions of both the terrorists and the counterterrorism apparatus. And we think by doing that, given all the changes that occur in any period of time, but particularly in the last decade in the problem of terrorism, how can we reassess the things we thought we knew and what things we need to know from each other across these different ways of looking at things. And this is an opportunity to really, in a very intense fashion, investigate those differences.
In attempting to reassess how we approach these things, do you see the value in having such a broad, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary group? I mean, we have people from so many different subject areas. Is that going to make things better or worse for us in the long term?
In the long term, it's definitely going to make things better. In the short term, in the moments, there are times when we spend a little more time, but very enjoyably in some sense, in trying to actually break through the jargon and the different conceptions that we each have, which are very heavily based in both our disciplines and in fact in the cultural apparatus that we bring with us, because we do represent people from a number of different countries and cultural traditions. And so in those moments when we're trying to get at the heart of what one person is saying and how that really reflects the problem of terrorism and how we understand it, it makes it difficult. And that is in fact part of the whole process and reason that we brought people from these different traditions, both scholarly and cultural, because you need to be jarred in this. Because none of us have the answer. We all know it's not simple, but we also know that it's this scholarly discussion amongst people who have respect for one another, and that's obviously crucial, so that the conversation becomes one of how can I understand and build, or how can I explain better. And that's what's really at the root here.
Absolutely, and that's something we certainly hope to get from this project over time, is bringing these different voices together. Again, Michael, thank you very much for the partnership, and very much looking forward to the continuation of this project.
Thank you, Richard.